Number 2, the allocation of the road tax fund was based on the request of favored politicians. Aba, namimili pa sila kung sinong politiko ang bibigyan nila ng pera. Dapat ang politiko na nag-aaral dito sa Kongreso kung paanong hati-hatiin ang pera, kulang na pera ng gobyerno, ang magsasabi sa mga maliliit na taong ito, paano mo gastusin yan dahil kulang, kailangan paghatian natin yan ng napakalugod na paraan. But sila pala namimili. The allocation of the road tax fund was based on the request of favored politicians, other public officials, and district engineers. This practice is contrary to the prescribed procedures under which the allocation should be made pursuant to the annual work program prepared by the DPWH Road Program Office, taking into consideration the priority projects as determined under the software tool called Highway Development Management Version 4 and TARAS, Traffic Accident Recording and Analysis System of the DPWH. Number 3, funds were diverted from the original objectives of the road tax, which are to maintain roads, improve drainage. Yun ang main objective niya. Pagandahin mong kalsada at siguraduhin mo na pag umulan o nagbaha ay may lulusutan yung tubig na yun at hindi malunod ang mga tao. Install traffic lights and road safety devices and control vehicle pollution. One glaring example of illegal diversion of funds is the PNP Oyster Program for road cleaning and maintenance. Wala silang ginagawa. Ang sabi nilang road maintenance, wawalis-walis sila ng daan, yun daw ang road maintenance nila. Bilyon ang perang binibigay sa kanila at nagbabayad sila ng sweldo ng mga tauhan na pinipili nila para magwalis ng kalsada. Yun raw ang road maintenance nila. According to GOA, this is not a function of PNP but of MMDA and other local government units. In other words, my friends, the bulk of the road tax has not been used in connection with roads and drainage. The bulk of the road tax in billions of pesos has gone to private pockets in the road board, the secretariat, and their cohorts. Taxpayers' money has been spent for shameless graft and corruption, the likes of which are rarely seen even in this corruption-ridden society. Sanay na tayo sa graft and corruption, pero ito, himatayin ka pa rin. 209, World Bank Report. Hindi lang ako ang nagsabi, hindi lang ang COA, pati pang World Bank. The implementation of the road tax law is an unmitigated disaster. Yon ang talagang kalamidad. May perang gobyerno pero hindi napunta sa taong bayan nung panahon ng baha dahil napunta sa garbo ng mga magnanakaw sa road board at sa secretariat niya. There is no better proof of its utter failure to improve the drainage than the floods of the killer typhoon Ondoy last September 26 and its successor typhoons. These typhoons destroyed so many lives and properties that on TV they summoned visions of Armageddon and the end of the world. Akala mo magtatapos na ang mundo eh. Nakikita mo television, yung pinsala na nagawa. Sa halagang 60.5 billion to maintain roads and improve drainage. Ganun pa rin kalawak at kalalim ang mabaha sa Metro Manila at sa marami pang lugar sa ating kapuluan. Saan napunta ang 60.5 billion na binabayad ng mga mamamayang may-ari ng sasakyan? The plunder, shocking beyond belief, of the road tax is documented by the World Bank report dated 24 February 2009 entitled Philippine Transport for Growth. From 201 to 208, the sum of 40.4 billion was released for maintenance of national roads. But the achievement was plain lousy. From 201 to 208, the percentage of paved national roads in good to fair condition rose by only 7.8% of the total length. In other words, only 1.1% of the total length of national roads rose to the level of good to fair condition. The people's money of 40.4 billion pesos is gone with the wind. The World Bank concluded that the Road Board and its secretariat have politicized the process of allocating the proceeds of the road tax. Wala nang criteria kung hindi ang laki ng kickback ng bawat proyekto sa kalsada at sa labasan ng tubig. In other words, hindi na paganda ang mga daan at mga labasan ng tubig, kaya hindi na hinto ang baha dahil sa ating kaibigan si Mr. Super Graft and Corruption. World class pa. According to the World Bank report, compared to other Asian countries, the Philippines has the worst roads. That's because in the whole world, we have the worst road board and the worst executive secretariat. There are two columns. Let me deal with the first column. Percent of paved roads, Philippines 20. China 81, Indonesia 58, Japan 78, Korea 87, Malaysia 81, Thailand 98. Tayo ang pinaka. Kulang. Biro mo, may 98 pa nga sa Thailand. Tayo ay 20. At ganun kalaki, bilyon ang piso na binibigay sa kanila taon-taon para pa gandahin lang o ayusin lang itong mga daan na ito. Second column, percent of roads in good condition. Philippines 18%, Korea 87, Malaysia 78, Thailand 98. Ang Philippines na 18% lang percent ng roads natin in good condition. Lahat sira. Kasing sira ng mga ulo na naghawak ng bilyong-bilyong piso na binigay sa kanila. Next topic, the Road Board and Secretariat. FI. I wrote FI because in English it means disgust. Kung sa Tagalog pa, FI is fwe. The Road Tax Law, Section 7, provides that the President of the Philippines shall organize the Road Board with 7 members, with the Secretary of DPWH as ex officio head, the Secretaries of Transportation and Communication, of Finance, and of Budget as ex officio members. In addition to the 4 cabinet members, there are 3 representatives of the private sector engaged in transport and motorist organizations. Naturally, because the public officials merely serve ex officio, meaning to say part-time lang sila, they meet more or less only once every quarter. Bilyon na piso ay hawak ng road board, pero ang meeting ng road board ay bawat 3 buwan lamang. Bilyon-bilyon yan, ha? This means that the road board meets only very few times in the year. When it allocates money, it appears to do so through resolutions, which a former road board member describes as, quote, ad hoc and rudimentary, unquote. Obviously, since it meets only a few times each year, the road board does not have time to satisfy itself that the multifarious criteria have been met. These criteria are set out in the Road Board Operating Procedures Manual and in the planning tool known as Highway Development and Management Version 4 or HDM-4. As with most board of directors in other organizations, the board has to rely on the processing of the necessary documentation by its secretariat. But, lo and behold, the Road Board Secretariat consists of only 5, repeat 5, regular positions: Executive Director, Fiscal Controller, Executive Assistant, Engineer, and Accountant. Ito, ang 5 ito, ang may hawak ng 60.5 billion. Simulang 201 hanggang 209. Definitely, only 5 technical people cannot adequately monitor the use of billions of special funds, much less supervise projects and activities funded by the special funds. Pakiupo lang ng tuwid dahil ito talagang interesado kayo. I'm warning you. Baka mahilo kayo. The Puno brothers, scandal in the family. Ronaldo Puno is Secretary of Interior and Local Government. His brother, Rodolfo Puno, was Road Board Executive Director from 205 to the first half of 208, or a tenure of 3.5 years. In 208, he was replaced by Danilo Valero, who just happens to have been a DILG Assistant Secretary under Rodolfo Puno. Pag-aari pala, parang close family corporations pala. Itong Executive Director na hawak nila bilyon-bilyon na piso. Yung kapatid doon sa DILG, Secretary of DILG, si Ronaldo Puno. Ang kapatid niya, pina-appoint niya sa Executive Secretariat, si Rodolfo Puno. Pinatanggal dahil nagreklamo sa kanya ang mga congressmen. Ang kapalit niya ngayon, si Danilo Valero, na dati namang Assistant Secretary ni Ronaldo Puno. Pinapamana pala mga pwesto sa gobyerno. This seems to be the only explanation on why the Road Board Oyster program was transferred to the National Police, which is under the ILG. Ayan.